Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mad Lads Live. And today we're doing something a little different, something a little bit different. I finished up the Star Wars series 2 days ago, and I was gonna start a new series this evening, but I have a couple reasons why I didn't. The first one being that I'm gonna start a new series today, and then tomorrow is Elden Ring with Muffin, and then I'm not streaming again um until Monday because I'm taking Sunday off for my kid's birthdays. So, I kind of felt it kind of felt wrong to start a new series today and then have you guys have to wait until next Monday to even continue it. That seemed kind of rude. So instead of that, I decided to make tonight a variety night. Also, this allows me to kind of stop a little early tonight because oh man, what a week we've got going on. What a week we've got going on. Not only is it both of my children's birthday, and we have that party plus the actual day of their birthday, plus we're doing stuff with them and all that, but it's also my sister-in-law's birthday this week as well. And she wants to go out and do stuff in the evening on the day of her birthday. So the next like 4 days are just 4 or 5 days are just absolutely fucking packed for me. So this allows me to kind of do something that lets me stop a little bit sooner. So it's not going to be a super long stream tonight, but it is going to hopefully be just as entertaining. And I figured while I'm making this mod and we're talking about it with chat and all of that stuff, and making the decisions, we can also um, answer lore questions and have kind of a lore Q&A and just kind of hang out and have a bit more of a laid back, relaxing stream, that kind of thing. Okay, in this follower mod, are we going to make him say a creative catchphrase? Probably. Because I vote for having a follower with a distinct hatred of Hive soldiers with appropriate dialogue. maybe. Okay, so I've got Forgotten Construction set open. I think one of the first things that we should actually do before we do that is make the character themselves. And we need to make a character that is not reliant on any other mods. I want this to be completely standalone in terms of a follower mod without being overly reliant on other mods. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to make one that uses vanilla features, and then export the body. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm doing it. So we're going to open up Kenshi, and we're going to make the character get the appearance out of the way, and then once the appearance is made, we're going to export it, and we're going to use that as the base for the body of the follower mod. So the idea that I had for this follower, just kind of off the bat, is I think I'm going to run with a skeleton. I don't know what kind of skeleton yet, but I think I'm going to run with a skeleton character. My thought is that it is a character who is not agreeing with the skeleton decision, the decision of Io, the machinists, and all of them, to withhold the information about Kenshi's history, right? And so I want to make a skeleton character that is effectively wanted or has a negative affiliation, negative relation with the machinist by default. Io hates his guts. And I want this character to kind of, as you're traveling, I want them to deliver, little drops of lore, little drops of history, talk about Kenshi, explain some of the things in a more nuanced way than, say, just being like, this place used to be this, that kind of thing. So something a little bit more nuanced. A follower that kind of acts like an encyclopedia. Something that I think a lot of people typically look at like Burn for, right? Good inspiration idea for follower. Assign an obscure character die. This obscure character die to a race it wouldn't normally be found on, like a skeleton who aligns with the United Heroes, with the Heroes League. Interesting. Maybe. We're gonna dig into all that in just a minute. But before we can do anything, make the Clayton Bigsby of Kenshi type thing. Before we can do anything, we need to set the body up, get the body established for the character, figure out what he's going to look like and all that stuff. So we're going to make the character first. And then once the character is made, we can go from there. Hey, Principal, how you doing? Welcome back. Storm, how you doing? Welcome. And like I said, while we're doing this, while we're making this follower mod, feel free to ask lore questions. Have a nice little chill, relax lore Q&A while we're putting this together. This is just kind of a more relaxing evening because I don't have anything grand planned until at least next week. So tonight's this, tomorrow's Elden Ring with Muffin, and then I'm gone until Monday. So All right, fine. How are you? Been away some days. Didn't see your new videos yet. Well, if you haven't seen either of them, the Coliseum or the. Are you talking about just the live streams, or are you talking about my actual long form videos? Because if you haven't seen my long form videos, I do recommend the Catlon one. That one is probably my favorite theory that I've ever done. Favorite video that I've ever done, hands down. Um, really good, really good. The Coliseum and the Catlon. Coliseum is the Kenshi Coliseum is just basically a versus series, but it's given some dramatic flair. I kind of took inspiration from Wes Johnson for the Oblivion announcer and Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. Um, and I kind of added something like a cinematic flair to it. I didn't want to do just a normal versus series. I wanted to do something that has some production value with it. So that's that. All right, so we need to make our skeleton. Now I'm probably just gonna make him a normal skeleton. I don't think I'm gonna go with. Actually, what are we gonna do here? Proto-axe, skeleton, long head, burn. What kind of skeleton do we want to make? I'm kind of leaning towards a P4 unit just because he'd be more intelligent, but I also feel like that's going to damage him in the long run in terms of a lot of other things because they tend to be good at smithing and labor intensive stuff, but not so much combat. Soldier bot could be a little busted, little fun, but a little busted. I think I'm probably actually, I think I'm gonna avoid Soldier Bot. It's gonna take away too much attention from our boy Agnew. Instead, Rumor Mark One. We'll probably just go with a normal skeleton. I think then, and we'll just make him a darker tone. I want to make him kind of large, right? And the goal, I don't want to make him too overpowered in terms of stats, but I do want to give him like an imposing frame, right? An imposing frame. Gonna fix his neck. The neck positions are always way too low. They all have like gamer neck where they're kind of like jutted forward like this, right? I never understood that. Give him better posture. Give him better posture. Frame, we're gonna keep him at a 110. And then, yeah, I don't think I want to make him too different. We're gonna make his head a little bit smaller. Yeah, that works. That works. That works. The small head works. Increasing the neck makes the neck joint larger. That's funny. We'll put that at a 90. And we're just getting the way that this guy's going to look out of the way. Not necessarily his name or anything like that. Although we do have to come up with a name for him. Jaw's not going to be a thing. And we're going to go with the standard face and all that stuff because we need it to work on vanilla. Shoulders, we'll give him a little bit of extra shoulder length. Actually, that's probably going to cause some issues later on. We'll keep him where he's. What we will do is we'll give him a little bit of extra chest size, a little bit of width on the chest, and on the stomach, keep the stomach high at a normal 100, and then if we actually decrease the waist, we can make the chassis line up better with the side panels here, which is something that I think makes the general shape more interesting. Okay. Hey, Cosmic, what's going on? The goat. The goat. He has returned. Thank you very much, Cosmic. I appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna give him a little bit of leg bulk too. A little bit of leg bulk. Okay, give him the bulk. He's been bulking. Actually, you know what? Let's give him some posture issues. I was gonna have him stand up really straight, but I think actually having him be a little hunched over, kind of makes sense. Kind of makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, I kind of like that. Have him be backed up. Although that is a mod. Hold on, we can't rely on the stance mod. Although having him stand like this is really funny. He's kind of got like a turtle hermit vibe going on. Dude looks like Master Roshi right now. He's just kind of standing there. That's funny. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a damn shame that he's reliant on the idle animations mod. Although it may, no. We'll try to keep it vanilla. Try to keep it vanilla. Yeah, I want to keep it as close to vanilla as I can. Adjust his shoulders out a little bit. good. That kind of makes him look meek. I don't really want to have him look like that. Um, hmm. Hmm. It's funny because I really like that Master Roshi vibe where he's just kind of sitting there with his hands behind his back. It kind of fits the whole theme, the vibe that we're going for. But I don't. It's not going to work with like what I'm trying to do on the whole. Is this him just all? That's him with his shoulders up. So that's base right here. This is base. Have him lean all the way out. Looks ridiculous. Looks ridiculous. Okay. Um, 15, maybe a little bit of lean out. Then a swagger, a little bit of swagger to him. Got a little bit of swagger to him. Yeah, we'll probably just stick with the straight up right there. Okay, so what should we name this lad? What do we name him? Obviously, we're gonna have to name him in the game files too. Again, the whole idea is that this is a skeleton that does not conform to the idea that we should be hiding the history of Kenshi like the rest of the skeletons do. So he speaks openly about the past. The idea for him is that I want to make a follower mod that will deliver tidbits of information as you travel throughout Kenshi. When you go to places, he'll make comments about, what it used to look like, maybe factions and stuff like that. He'll talk about the Holy Nation. He'll talk about Catlan. He'll talk about, um, the First Empire a little more openly than say skeletons in the modern day do. So we got to come up with a name that works really well for that. And I'm trying to think of what could be a good one. Skeleton naming convention's always been really interesting too because they have um I feel like there's not like a set naming convention, but there is like a high propensity of like hybers are named after the first thing that they see, right? That's the gag was them is that their name when they become independent or when they're born is the first thing that they see. That becomes their name or the first thing that they notice about them. So like Beep, it was his beeping, so he named himself Beep. Um, stuff like that. So whereas skeletons kind of have like a mixed naming convention. You have Tin Fist, you have Io, you have Elder, Catlon. Like I feel like their names always kind of invoke kind of like a something that invokes how old and how skillful they are in some way, right? Elder is obviously Elder. Catlon kind of it has like a more like regal vibe to it, right? Like it feels regal. It feels like that. Tin Fist is really is like mentioning how strong he is. Like it's with his fists, right? Like that's a big portion of what he is. So something that kind of blends well with like his personality is, I think, important. And I'm trying to think, um, what could be a good one. Hold on. How's Gearlock? I think Gearlock could be Gearlock the historian. Gearlock the historian. We'll workshop it. We'll put it down temporarily and we'll workshop it. Okay, so we're gonna export that. And now that we have his body file figured out under gearlock.bod, we're actually going to head on. I think we can actually exit the game now. And mind you, I've never made a follower mod. This is my first time doing anything like this. So, oh hey Rune, what's going on? I've never made a follower mod. This is my first time ever doing anything like this. So I'm learning as we go. I'm learning about this as we go. So there's going to be some things where I'm just testing and running, in real time. So we're going to make the new mod, and we're going to name it, and it's going to be Gearlock. We're going to go with Gear History. We'll just go with. We'll go with follower. We'll name the mod. Historian's actually a better one. Eventually, I want to upload this to the what is it? The Steam Workshop too. So this is I got to make sure that I'm paying careful mind to how I'm naming things and all that stuff. All right, so we've got historian. Now, in my experience, one of the easiest things to do when making any kind of character, and I did this when I made Darth Beep and all that stuff during the Star Wars series, was just copying one that exists. And I think that Burn probably sets a good idea for how to do that. In terms of like who we should copy and whatnot, because he doesn't have too much of a unique dialogue package beyond like his introductory dialogue. but he has a lot of the skeleton dialogues, and then I can go through and actually edit the skeleton dialogues as we go to be more specific to him. Is YouTube better quality than Twitch? I mean, I'm running 1080p. I'm not having any lag or anything like that. What do you mean by better quality? You mean like physically, like the quality of the Twitch stream or quality of the stream? Because it's 1080p on both. I'm running a 2K monitor and then downscaling to 1080p. Can you also edit the associated die package? I can. Yeah, so my PC is running on, like, my monitor is a 2K monitor, and I downscaled the resolution to 1080p for streaming. My bitrate is 6,000 for Twitch, and then 12,000 for YouTube. Oh, probably. I don't know if I can zoom in any more on these. Yeah, it doesn't let me zoom in very well. Especially if you're on mobile. Yeah, unfortunately, these don't go. These aren't gonna. It doesn't let me zoom in, I don't think. Oh, font size. Hold on. It will. There we go. Up the font size. Hold on. Boom. How's that? Is that better? Let me know if that works better. So I can, in fact, up the font size. So if that's better, let me know. There's a lot of, okay, cool. There's a lot of different information here, so we're gonna have to just be mindful of that. If you guys need me to make it bigger, I can. That's not a problem. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy burn. We're gonna make a copy of burn. Where's he? Duplicate item, and we're gonna name it to. This is gonna be the name of the followers, so we're gonna go with Gearlock. Fantastic. And he's part of the historian mod, so that's there. So everything that he has should be the same as burn. What is this? I wondered, is there a lore reason why firearms or explosive aren't a thing? I've wondered, since it seems like Kenshi has all the ingredients for things like gunpowder. I've made a couple like videos speculating about why that might be. You know, there's two things that have come to mind. One, the First Empire was not a militarized society. We kind of have evidence that they weren't really a militarized society, um, for a number of different reasons. They just, there's nothing to really indicate that they were a militarized society. They were primarily focused on infrastructure. They were focused on mass production, on all of that stuff, and so the idea is effectively that there was a technological break where like guns and stuff weren't part of their technological tree. I've often compared it to like Fallout, and the lore of Fallout, where the history diverged from our timeline and theirs after World War II, whereas we entered the digital age, they entered the nuclear age, and because of that, their computers never got any smaller. So they have some tech that seems incredibly out of date compared to ours in the current timeline of Fallout. And then they also have other pieces of tech that seem incredibly advanced compared to ours because they branched down a different evolutionary tree in their technology. That was one of the ideas. The other one is that they were not a colony that was sent here with malicious intent or with with weapons being necessary. They were a seeding colony that were sent out for the purposes of terraforming the planet and creating like a self-sustaining colony. And they wouldn't really need weapons. But there was obviously native creatures on the planet. But I think that there's an argument to be made about the ingenuity of the First Empire, or how they chose to deal with those megalithic threats, the kaiju level threats that were present on Kenshi during the First Empire, which is they basically took their subservient workforce that they had, the skeletons, right? The robots that were designed to build this society for them to live in when they terraformed and claimed and colonized the planet. And they were like, oh, there's this these giant threats. Let's just make a really big fucking version of them. Let's take our worker units and scale them up and have them fight the kaiju. So it's either an evolutionary thing in terms of their technology, or it's just that they were a colony that found no use for weapons or didn't have a lot of weapons. And then in the time between the First Empire and now, that technology has been lost, or hasn't been reverse engineered yet, or any of those things. There's a couple different ways that it could be interpreted. The out of lore answer is obviously Chris didn't want guns because he thought that it would mess up the vibe of Kenshi. You know, it would mess up the feel of Kenshi. Um, but in lore, we have to come up with an explanation. Those are the two that have. The other one being that they didn't have all the necessary materials to make proper firearms. You know, for whatever reason, to make explosive gunpowder and stuff. But I find that one unlikely. Just because there are evidence of explosions and there are evidence of stuff like that. Granted, a lot of them are nuclear in origin, but um, there could be a number of reasons. Currently building a base in front of Stobe's Courts. Watch over me, big guy. I also have built a base in front of Stobe's Corpse, and it's a fun time. Make sure you cover up the back side of Stobe's Corpse because they can run down that cliffside and they will come in through the back. So gear up for that. Just fair piece of advice. Yeah, what type of clothes will the follower wear? I have not decided yet fully what's going on with him in terms of clothing. I think I'm going to give him a Nodachi, and I think I'm going to give him some kind of like ninja pants with like body wraps. But I'm not 100% certain yet on how we're going to do that, on what we're going to do with that. Not sure yet. I had a bad surprise earlier. Double check the walls. That's right. Make sure you grab the walls in the back. So he is going to be a skeleton. As for the body, we need to actually change what body mesh he's using. Right now, it's set to be random. So we're actually going to go find the body mesh that we made earlier. So we got to scroll down for that. Made it earlier, and it should be here. If it's not, we're going to have to figure out why that is. DMAC, Dr. Chung, Asada, character bodies, export. It's an export. That's why. Okay. Look for Gearlock. There it is. Gearlock bod 2. So now he should look the way that we need him to. Conscript leather armor would be neat. Indeed. We'll get to his clothes here in just a minute. Actually, we're gonna get rid of rag shirts, half pants, armor, all that stuff. Weapon level unknown. We're gonna give him standard grade, I think. Give him a standard grade weapon level. I don't think I want him to have anything too crazy. Actually, I think skeleton smiths make sense. Yeah, skeleton smiths make sense. And then his weapon, I want to give him a Nodachi. I think the Nodachi is cool. It's my favorite weapon. Very happy to catch a stream. I think this is such a cool idea for a stream, and I'm always down to watch more mod creation streams like this. How often are you planning to do these types? So I've done a couple like random kind of like fill in the blank, chilled kind of like layback streams. I don't do them that often. I do them usually once or twice a month. But if it's something people enjoy, I'm always happy to do it more. I can set aside a day to do like a modding stream and like work on the mod. This is going to end up being a mod that I want to release publicly for people to download on the workshop. And the idea is effectively like you have my videos that give Kenshi lore, and I think it would be cool, and people might enjoy it if they could. It's almost like bringing like me as a creator along with you for your Kenshi journey, because you get to get like lore deliveries and stuff, but like in an in-game kind of feel. So like I guess you can kind of call it like a self-insert, but the idea isn't necessarily for him to be like me. It's just having someone that can deliver lore to you and talk to you in game in a way that will benefit your roleplay experience, than more than just listening to me babble. Okay, so we're gonna do clothes as well. Clothing. All right, so we got to figure out what pants he's gonna use. I want to give him some armor that's not like super good, right? Like I don't want him to have crazy good armor. But I also want him to be like notable, right? I want him to be visible and notable and have like kind of a unique vibe. So I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do that. What we're gonna do to make him look that way. Martial artist buyings, long coat, protectors, and obviously he's not allowed in a lot of places. Give him noble robes. That would be very interesting, having him walk around in just the finest of silks. What a cool idea. I look forward to bringing them around then. Also, Nodachi is my favorite. It's my favorite weapon of the game. Are you able to give him faction colored armor? I am indeed. I think I'm probably going to end up giving him the mercenaries the mercenary chest plate. I really like the mercenary plate armor. So probably mercenary plate. Plus, mercenary plate is easily dyeable. So there is that. Um, my favorite weapon combo is the giant jite plus the little jite. That's the heavy jite and then the little jite for when they stop resisting and when they start resisting. Um, faction colored noble robes would go ham. Interesting. Well, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Let's see how the noble robes look. All right, we'll go with noble robes and see how they look because we're going to be popping in and out of game quite a bit to see how these look. I'm going to have them spawn um, inside the hub to start, and we'll go from there. All right, noble robes. We'll give them noble robes, and then faction. I got to figure out how to do faction colors, what faction that this character belongs to. So in order to do that, we're going to look up Agnew's. This is a learning experience for me too. Never made a follower mod. Clothing, rag loincloth dyed. How do we figure out? We just had him added to a faction then. Okay. 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 Um. And let's see what's up with Burn because I feel like he's supposed to have dialogue, like a dialogue package for recruitment, and I only see the player skeleton package in here, so I'm wondering why that is. What is with that? He's got this one, but there's nothing in here about when you talk to him, or when you meet him for the first time. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Let's look at the dialogue packages and see if there's anything in here for Burn. And there is not. Oh, that's AI packages. Hold on. Where is dialogue packages? There we go. All right, Burn. Nothing specific for Burn. Okay, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. I don't think Burn has unique dialogue. Well, he doesn't have unique dialogue, but he does have recruitment dialogue, which is important. Wonder if any modders made it so you can give the skeletons a paint job. They're always grayish black. They always are grayish black. Like a silver skeleton would be cool. I think having a skeleton that wears like white silvery armor would be cool, or has like silvery armor, silvery like texture to them would be cool. Really, really cool. I mean, all right. Well, I mean, we'll test it when we get in game. There's a good chance that we'll probably have to do something with that, but we'll test it when we get in game. Okay, armor grade, gear, cheap. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna give him some decent combat stats. Probably, I think 20 is fine. I think 20 is fine. Give him stats around 20 with a stat randomizer of plus or minus 2. I think that's fine. I don't want him to be too strong. The idea is that he grows with you. I imagine it's been a little while since he reset, which I think I want to give him dialogue that kind of reflects that, but not so long that he that he hasn't not so long that he's useless, all right, so is he unique? Yes. Not a slave, shaved, named. What does this mean? Has a name randomly chosen from a list. False. Okay. NPC class adventure. Okay, so I think adventurer is partly how the dialogue happens. And now initially he's going to have Burns dialogue. This is mostly just to get him in the game. All right, so factions. Let's see what factions there are. What can we add him to? Just normal skeletons would give him the Second Empire colors, which I do think is interesting. Hold on. Broken One. Give him the Broken Ones faction and see what that does. Let's pull up Agnew and see how that looks on him. Agnew player. Oh, I'm in dialogue packages right now. That's not where I want to go. Burn has a unique intro. All my skeletons are different. I don't think Burn has a unique dialogue. He's a unique intro. All my skeletons are different colors. You can make them black, bronze, iron, copper, and aluminum chassis colors. Oh, and rust brown. Second Empire equals blue dye. Yeah, it's like a bluish gray color, like a bluish black. I think it's listed as black in the game, but it's actually like a bluish black. And then First Empire is like that green color you see on the airbots. And I want to see if I can make him First Empire green. He's a skeleton that never. Oh no, it is listed as blue. Interesting. Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Blue robot rags. Okay, hold on. There's a color section. So I don't need to give him the Broken Ones faction. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Faction color. There we go. Interesting. We love it. We love it. Empire Police Chief. If you want full black, I think that's Black Dragon Ninja. Interesting stuff. I don't think I want to go full black with his colors, though. There's a wiki with all the associated dyes. Indeed. Might have to pull it up here in a minute. Okay, so let's go with Empire Color, Gold Inquisitor. That could be interesting. I want to give him something that kind of like really shows his age, which is why I was thinking the Broken Ones, giving him that like orangey color. And I think I can probably make a copy of one of these. The color references at. Hold on. Items, nope. Dialogues, nope. Races, nope. Character stats, animations, factions, nope. There's got to be a spot for this color scheme. Can I make a copy of these? I think I can. I think I can. By God, I can. All right, we're giving him a custom color then. Duplicate item. And this is going to be... we're just going to give him First Empire. So he's going to have his own custom color scheme. There we go. There we go. And I like the idea of giving him... Going to have that like dark greenish color on there. And then maybe for the secondary color, we'll go with white question mark or like a gray. The green and gray. Actually, you know what? Instead of First Empire, we're gonna go full channel color, which is gonna be white and orange and gray. Give him orange. Love orange. Orange is my favorite color. We're gonna call this the hero colors. Orange and gray are my favorite colors, so we're gonna give him those because I can. Fantastic. All right, so now color that should be in here. Hero colors right there. Perfect. And we're going to check clothing again because I want to make sure that is there like a dyed version? Dyed robes, dyed rags, dyed turban, rag loincloth dyed. Okay. We'll give him the dyed robes too and see how that goes. I think it's going to give us a percentage chance on either one, so it may go. My favorite thing about Kenshi is the Holy Nation's militaristic structure. You have the High Inquisitor, then Inquisitors, then High Paladins, then Holy Sentinels, all the way down to servants. It's the Holy Nation around in the Second Empire. The Holy Nation was founded during the Second Empire, but it wasn't originally called the Holy Nation. It was a cult that we believe was dedicated to either Stobe or Kytrin. That, if you watch my last video that I put out, my last lore video, eventually came to worship Catlon as their hero figure, and then eventually over the generations, because obviously humans only live for a couple decades, whereas skeletons live forever, effectively forever, or close enough. Skeletons are ageless. So over time, it was Catlon's Stobe was our great savior, and then Catlon was our hero, and then Catlon became a god over generations upon generations as the stories went on. And eventually, after the Exodus happened, when Catlon started to crack down on his people, and the cult that was dedicated to these figures started to alter and change because Catlon was cracking down on them. Eventually, Stobe became Kytrin. Catlon became Okrin, and the anti-human faction became Narco, and Catlon was effectively a false god, not the real Okrin. He was actually Narco, so according to them, which I explained much more thoroughly and in much more believable detail in my most recent video. But yeah, so the Holy Nation started during the Second Empire, but they weren't called the Holy Nation yet. They weren't the Holy Nation until after they left the Second Empire. They led. Okay, so we're gonna save this now. Actually, we still have to place him. So we're gonna go to towns. We're gonna go to towns. And I believe we can place him directly in the hub. So we're going to go to the hub. Fantastic. And we're going to place him in the hub. I think he'd be under residence. Add. And we're going to go with Gearlock. Gearlock is not here. Why is that? Our black market hops. Oh, I think we got to make him a faction is what it is. Yeah, we've got to make a faction for him. Hub squatters. Yeah, we've got to make a faction for him. Okay. So, well, actually, while we're here, I'm gonna take a look at Burns Tower and see how he's listed in there. Burns Tower, residence, uh, factions, the skeleton, residence is Ted's Tower. What is this? Oh, interesting, interesting. Dialogue leader. Oh, so that's how they do it. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so I'm actually gonna copy Burns Tower and yeah, hold on. That's in the towns, right? Yes. Okay. So he's got his own residence, which is Ted's Tower. Very interesting. Who the hell is Ted? That's the question. Did you see the last Lo-Fi Music Vibe video? I did. I did. I did indeed. All right, so guards, buildings, residents there. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do then is I'm actually gonna copy the Ted's Tower residence, and we're just gonna that should allow us to go into Burns dialogue package once we get over there. So that should work. All right, squads, Ted's Tower. We're going to copy this, duplicate the item, and we're going to delete the AI package for it because that's not really relevant. We're going to keep the dialogue pack, the dialogue recruit, override the dialogue for the leader, provides anything personal. NPC skeleton, base 1. Okay. Is there a requirement on this? Does it have to be burn? I don't think it does. No, I don't see anything that indicates it has to be burned. Open up the dialogue tree here. No, this is not related specifically to burn. It's just whoever runs this faction. And then we can actually edit this dialogue down to make it different later on, which is good. Which is good. Okay, so we're going to inherits from NPC skeleton base, which I think is what we're using. We're going to keep that. We're going to assign the leader of this new faction to not be burned. We're going to assign it to our boy Gearlock here. So now Gearlock is the leader. High-tech junk. If this squad is a shop squad. I don't think he needs to be, but I'm going to leave that just in case. Very different from your usual channel content, but would you ever make a modding tutorial? I would love to make a modding tutorial, but I'm actually learning how to mod right now as I'm doing this. I've picked up modding like I think 2 weeks ago. I'm learning how to do this as we go. So you're seeing me learn in real time. I do, however, need to make an updated graphical video. I mean, but that's on the list. I have to make it within the next like week or two. That's the plan. There are some other Kenshi streamers that have asked me to make it. I told them I'd make them within the next day, next couple of weeks. You're doing great so far. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Do I have to change location here? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this is just a squad, so we're gonna change this to Gearlock intro. There are some modding resources and guides on Steam and by popular modders in the workshop. FCS is a beast, and depending on the intent, it can be a hell, but a follower should go find. Yeah, that's what I figured. I've done like locational mods, like I've added locations in. I use what is it? I use a modded location that I built for the Arena series, for the Kenshi Coliseum series, and I use that for my Kenshi Coliseum videos. I made an arena on stream a couple weeks ago, and I actually figured out how to mod it in and all that stuff. So now all I have to do is go in and change the starting, change the like make a new custom start for whoever I'm using the like recording in the Coliseum that day. And so I've done that a little bit. I also made a custom beep for the Star Wars series that I did. I made Darth Beep after he died. I had to resurrect him and all that stuff. So I have a little bit of familiarity with modding, but it's been up until 2 or 3 weeks ago, all I ever used the FCS for was for looking for like dialogue packages and looking for item descriptions and stuff for lore videos. I wasn't like making any mods. So this is all very fresh to me. I'm kind of just using like, I don't want to say common sense, but I'm kind of just using common sense for this right now to try and figure out what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of looking around right now. Okay, Ted's Tower, skeleton recruit dialogue. So we're gonna keep the recruit dialogue for now. I will end up making a copy of that and using that afterwards. But right now we're just gonna keep that. So now what is it? Now it's in our Gearlock intro. So now we're gonna take the what is it? The towns. We're gonna go to the hub. The hub. And we're gonna add in Ted's the Gearlock intro. Gearlock intro, he's right there, and Gearlock should be there. So now that we have all of that done, we should be able to start the game, and he should be in the hub. He should be a resident of the hub, and that should go well. I also am going to assign him. I want him to be hostile with specifically the who is it? The machinist. I want him to be hostile with the machinist. Because Io and them hate his guts. They don't like him. So he is wanted by the machinist. If a character has a bounty, this lists factions they are wanted by. So he does have a bounty. Hold on, true. If this guy can put a bounty on someone he sees committing a crime, no. Bounty amount. We're gonna give him a bounty of 50,000. We're gonna say we're gonna say 100,000. He's wanted by IO. He's a big problem for them. Big problem. Is he recruitable though? He should be. He should be. We're gonna test that here in a minute. Hey Hero, have you tried Sentient Sands yet? I have not tried Sentient Sands yet. I'm gonna try Sentient Sands on Monday. Hopefully on Monday when I start my new series. I'm going to be using it in my new series now that the Star Wars series is over. So the new series I'm running on Monday, I'm going to be running Sentient Sands. It's going to be a solo run, and I think honestly, I think a solo run works perfectly for Sentient Sands. It's designed for it. So we're going to be doing that on Monday. Try adding a settler that come to your town and actually use your machines and pay rent, but this was too hard of a task for me. Yeah, I could see why that would be tough. I could see why that would be tough. I could see. Yeah, I'll be trying Sentient Sands on Monday for the new live stream series that I'm going to be doing now that the Star Wars series is over. And I also plan on, depending on how it goes in the live stream series, I plan on making an actual video about it. Okay. He should be recruitable now. And we're going to go from there. So he is resident in the hub, so he should spawn in the hub. We're just going to double check the intro. Gearlock, he's there. Okay. And we're going to see what happens. Oh, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to save that, and we're going to boot up Kenshi and see how it goes. Now that that has been saved. Okay. And we'll be starting a new game in the hub. Let me just make sure that I have the mod on. Historian, it is on. Biggs combat animations, why is that not on? That should be on. Is my... Oh, shit. Is my stuff messed up? It might be. Where's Shader at? Hold on. I may have to redo my load order real fast. Not like... I have it saved, thankfully, so it's quick and easy for me to read it. No, it's there. Okay. We're good. Ha! I freaked out for a minute. I was like, oh, God. Okay. So, hopefully Kenshi 2 comes out before I succeed, though. Hopefully Kenshi 2 has that by default. Hopefully it has it by default. So we're going to do the Wanderer option because obviously that's going to start us right in the hub. We're not even going to bother making a character. We're just going to dive right in. We're just going to dive on in. I'm trying Sentient Sands tomorrow. Can't wait to see what it can do. I've heard great things about it. Some of the stories people have said of their time using Sentient Sands already has been incredible. Some of the Reddit posts that I've been reading of people talking about the stories that have happened on Sentient Sands were absolutely incredible. All right, so we're just going to confirm. We're just here to start. Now we're going to look around, see if we can find him. We're looking for a guy in orange and gray rags of some kind. We don't know where he's going to spawn. He could spawn anywhere in the hub. We don't necessarily know where he's going to spawn in the hub because I have the hub set to spawn with a large radius. So we're just looking for a rather large skeleton, stats in the 20s with orange and gray rags. He could be literally anywhere. This is going to be the fun part. Every time we go to test something, we're going to have to pop in and see if he's here by looking for him. and it's going to be funny. Or it's going to get annoying. Both of those are possible. Both of those are possible. But he should be here. He should be here. Upside is almost all of the buildings are broken, so we can just kind of peruse through them. And he should eventually patrol and walk through the center here. He doesn't have a full AI package in terms of like how he behaves yet, so I may have to end up adding that in. I'm not sure. But that's okay. I might just end up giving him the AI package of a random NPC, because I don't know where, if he's wandering around or not, but I don't see him right yet. He should be in here, but I did take his AI package away, which was Burns. Generative text is honestly the perfect for text dialogue, infinite possibilities, infinite content. And like it doesn't, the thing is like there's a similar mod with like Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls, that I personally think is brilliant, but I also understand why people get upset about it, because you're effectively using the voice actors' voices without their permission, right? And that's kind of a problem. You know, I could see why that's a problem, and why people get upset about that. With text dialogue, like, you're not, who are you hurting? Who are you hurting? It's just pure fantasy, man. It's beautiful. And the possibilities are just phenomenal, so. All right, we're looking for him. Again, he should be around here somewhere. There's also the possibility that he is spawning with the incorrect race, even though I have him set to be the body that we made. That's always a possibility. I'm not seeing him quite yet, though. We'll look around for another minute or so. I should probably, honestly, I should probably set the hub to spawn, have everyone spawn in the center of the town instead of just around. Nope, not him. So that's probably my own fault. I'm not seeing him quite yet. On the walls. Yeah. Let me know if you guys see him. I don't see him yet. He may not have spawned properly. He should be, though. He should be here. It may be one of those things where I have to maybe copy the intro package. Instead of Burn, I may have to make a copy of, like, say, Griffin's intro package and have him sitting in here. Didn't know about Sentient Sands. It looks dope. It looks really, really good. Can you taunt a guard to attack you using the mod? You can do anything with the mod. Anything with the mod. So, I'll give you an example. One of the stories I read on Reddit of someone who we used just the other day that was absolutely incredible. You can convince NPCs to follow you. You convince them to join your squad. You can convince them to give you money. You can convince them to like sell you things at a discount or give you their items. You can rob people. Like you can anything that you do will cause rumors and stuff to circulate. Like the world remembers what you do. People remember what you do. So one of the stories that I heard the other day was somebody went to the swamps and there was an NPC that was starting shit with them. And what happened was they had tried to get them to join their squad. And they were like, hey, I'll give you 1,000 cats if you join the squad. And they said, yeah, I'll come if you come work for me is what it was. And they said, yeah, I'll do that. And so they gave them 1,000 cats. Like the player gave the NPC 1,000 cats and the NPC didn't go anywhere. And so the player was like, are you going to come with me or not? Like, what are you doing? And the NPC was like, well, I have the money. I have no reason to go now. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And so the player was like, you can either come with me and fulfill the job I paid you for, or I can bring you out back and I can put you down and feed you to the blood spiders. And so she was like, all right, if you're going to threaten me, then that's what we're going to do. So they went out back. The NPC walked out back, pulled a weapon, and then they fought and they killed her, right? So this NPC was part of a group. And so the player, after they killed her, they fed her to the blood spiders and then went back to their base and found the squad that was with that NPC at their base being like, hey, are we good? Like, we'll come stay with you. Like, are we good? Out of fear because of what he had just done to the NPC. And they ended up joining the base. And they were hostile when he hovered over them. But then when he was talking to them, they were like, are we good? Like, we don't, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, you're good as long as we don't have any more fucking issues and you don't try to steal from me, we're fine. And then he left and came back and they were suddenly allies and they were working at his base. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So I'm excited to try it. Hey, Hero, it's Artemis. Sorry I've missed the last few. I've literally been coughing up blood. Well, that sucks, man. Are you good? Are you good? You don't have to apologize to me for missing my stream. Your health comes first. Oh, good, man. VODs are up for a reason. I am not seeing this damn NPC, which means we may need to readjust. Although, again, one downside with spawning in the hub is that they could spawn anywhere because I have it set to them spawn anywhere. So that he could just be fucking out there. I have no idea. He could just be out there loafing around like an absolute potato. But I'm not seeing him, and I don't think he's here quite yet. So we're gonna have to readjust all of that. We did add him to the hub. All right. So first issue is getting him to spawn in. So we're gonna exit. We're gonna try again. All right. The hub, Gearlock. We're gonna have enemies set. Everyone set to spawn in the town center. If true, then the nest junk will spawn for any town. Oh, those are junk. No, false. How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? I found that adding an NPC to the residents or the bar thugs in the hub makes it easier. To the residents or bar thugs in the hub makes it easier to spot them. That's actually a good idea. That's a good idea. Let's knock that out, and we'll add them to the bar black market hub squad. We'll add them to the hub squatters. That's a good spot. So then we need to add them to the factions. Faction squads, and it's hub squatters. All right, and choose from list. Add. We're gonna add Gearlock in there. Boomski. All right. Gearlock is 1. Hold on. The game will randomly choose this character out of the list. No, hold on. Is there a way that I can add someone specifically and it's not a chance? I want them to be specific. Squad. There we go. There we go. So we're gonna take him off that list. He does join. Okay. He's part of the hub squatters. That's fun. It's fun. It's fun. That's fun. And he's got the squatters AI package. That should work. Let me just double check, but I think that should work. Okay. So we're gonna save that and we're gonna try it again. Try it again. Try it again. Hold on. I'm gonna use the mod and start a rebellion in the Stone Camp. That's what you do. That's what you do. Here, if the Southern Hive didn't meet King, how do you think they would have progressed? They probably would have. Well, my thing that I wonder is, did the Southern Hive transition to using Dude Smoothie before, or like transition to eating people to regenerate before or after King? I'm liable to say after. I'm liable to say that King like was the um King was the transition. Because of King, that was the transition. So they probably would be similar to the Western Hive, and they'd be growing and engaging in agriculture because the Southern Hive Queen is yellow, which means she was born or create. I think she was created, but like she wasn't made through the Dude Smoothie, which means the Dude Smoothie started with her. She did it. She was the first to do it. And so I think that she probably would have transitioned to agriculture as a means to get biomass rather than the Dude Smoothie through King. So I think meeting King is what caused them to become the way they are now. Engaging with King is what caused them to turn how they are. Now the real question is, how did that meeting happen? That's my question. Okay, so saved, and we're gonna try it again. Try it again. Gonna be a lot of opening and closing Kenshi on this stream. A lot of opening and closing Kenshi. The mod is open. Historian, there it is. Perfect. Yeah, gonna be a lot of opening and closing Kenshi on this stream. They met on Hyvert. That's clever as hell. You're clever as hell. they they met on Hyvert. Ah, it's funny. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. All right, let's see how we're doing. See if we can get him to spawn now. And like I said, my hope is that eventually I can use this mod. Like put this mod. There he is. Okay, all right, we see him. Hell yeah. Bright orange. Not recruitable. Not recruitable currently. We have to get his dialogue package and stuff sorted out. He is not recruitable, but look at that style. My guy looks stylish as hell. No pants, though. We're going to have to give him pants. I forgot to give him pants. But he's styling. He's looking styling. Got a big-ass Nodachi, and he's looking fire. Looking fire. With Sentient Sands, I had planned that one of my squad members has a rivalry with my main character and that he wants to beat him one day. I wonder if the AI could make him start fighting. So from what I understand, Sentient Sands will create rumors. So in the example that I gave before about the situation with like the threatening and the other people being afraid of him and all that stuff, as the game progressed, he would go to other places, and his base was basically viewed as like there was rumors that had started as a result of him as a result of him like doing that. Like people would they were talking about it and stuff. I think I'm gonna remove the chest piece and I'm gonna give him the pants. I think I'm gonna have him go without a chest piece and I'm gonna give him the pants. So he's gonna have like the bright orange pants. But I like that. I like that. So yeah, that's good. That's good. We're looking good. We're looking good. So now he's in the game, which is good. Now we need to make him recruitable, which means I need to flip his dialogue package around with someone else's. So originally he has Burns' dialogue package. We're going to switch his dialogue package out with somebody else that we can manipulate and alter. So somebody that preferably has a good number of dialogue pre-made that we can edit, because that's the easiest way, in my opinion, to do. Quick question. Do you use a mod manager, and what's it called? I do not use a mod manager. Every load order I do, I hand sort. I sort them myself. And I use Steam Workshop. If I were to use a mod manager for anything, it would be Nexus Mod Manager, which is Vortex, just because I have Nexus Premium. I lucked out, actually, with the Nexus Premium. This is super fun. So everyone, who in the last couple of years, Nexus switched to a subscription model. So you pay monthly, right? It's like $15, $20 a month or some shit like that. It used to be, for many, many years, it was a $60 flat buyout, right? Like you pay $60 one time and you're a premium member forever. And I ended up getting the premium membership when I was doing a heavy Skyrim, Skyrim mod one time. I was doing like a heavy modded playthrough, and I was sick of downloading it fucking 2 megabytes per second. So I bought the $60 premium, and then I think 5 or 6 days later, like right after, they switched to the subscription model. But they were kind enough that if you were already a premium member and you had paid for the lifetime membership, then you got to keep your premium. So I have premium Nexus mods with unlimited download cap, and I don't have to pay monthly for it. It's awesome. Fantastic. I lucked out. I bought it literally like 3 or 4 days before they switched it, and it was purely luck. Purely luck. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. What is this? They're both skeletons, and King, as we know, is one of the few who we see eat. Maybe the queens and the king, who we see eat, and maybe the queens and king. Maybe the king was programmed to be like a guard dog, whereas the queens were mad. I would agree, except what is it? Crimper bots were supposed to be in the game, but they weren't ever implemented. He's the only one. It's more likely that what is it? King. So King actually doesn't defend the Southern Hive. He doesn't give a shit about the Southern Hive. Fun fact. That's why you can run into the Southern Hive, butcher all of them, and the only reason you end up fighting King is because his natural path wanders into the Southern Hive in the middle of your fight. He's territorial if you get near him. He doesn't give a shit about the Hive. He's just doing his job. His job was effectively recycling. He'd pick up junk and trash and recycling, and he'd grind it down into bits. He was a recycler, whether it be for machines or for corpses, we don't know. But the point was that he was a recycler, you know? Um, and that's kind of backed up by the idea that again, he doesn't really care about the Southern Hive. He doesn't defend them. He fights you because you get in his way. You can go in there and kill the whole Southern Hive. He won't aggro to you one bit. He aggroes to you because he has a territorial range where he aggroes by default onto you. But like, yeah, you can wipe out the whole Southern Hive and never touch King, never fight King. Which is interesting. Is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so we need to switch his dialogue package with a different dialogue package. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a character that we can recruit, and we're going to give him that dialogue package. And we're going to go with one that has relatively simple dialogue, but not overly simple, right? Like I want it to be someone who has kind of a mix between the two of them. Let's look at what's Bard's dialogue package? Does Bard have one? Bard have a unique one? No. Um, who else? Who else can we think of? I think Griffin has one. That's player Griffin. We need to figure out how to recruit him though. That's the other thing. Let's look at. Hold on. Let's look at. Let's look at Beeps. Let's look at Beeps dialogue package because I want to see how he does it. So we're gonna look at Beep. Good old Beep. He has a recruit dialogue and a player dialogue. So we need to get a recruit dialogue, a dialogue package for a recruit. Dialogue, add. We're gonna go with recruit. Agnew recruit, Beep recruit. We're gonna go with Beep. And his dialogue is gonna be the same as Beep's to start with, and we can edit it as we go. But this should allow me to recruit him. This should allow me to recruit him. Now, here's what we are going to do too. Clothing, we're going to go... I'm going to hop off now and watch a Kenshi series. Hero better run before before he crashes out on me cheating on him. You have fun. You have fun. Enjoy. Enjoy. Do you think the modern era of the Forgotten Continent has sort of separate evolution and developed completely different separation of communication wise from the main one? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that there's probably a whole different vibe going on there. Whole different vibe going on there. Yeah, so we're gonna use Beep's dialogue package as the base for recruitment, and we're gonna go from there. Because eventually we're gonna make him custom ones, but I can make a copy of Beep's after and then edit it, and I can make a copy of the skeleton dialogue and edit it as well. And actually copying the skeleton dialogue will be way more convenient because skeletons have unique dialogue when you go to like specific locations, and I can just edit that locational dialogue, which is going to be super convenient. Super convenient. So we're going to give him Beep's dialogue to start with. We're also going to change his clothes because the shirt was clipping and it was driving me nuts. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him the mercenary top. No, not color. I don't want color. I want clothes. There we go. Mercenary plate, and I need to give him pants. Pants. What pants do we have? Monk pants, ninja pants, half pants, gi pants, drifter's leather pants, cargo pants. We dye the gi pants? I don't know if we can actually dye those gi pants. Add the pants. We gotta add the pants. Gotta add the pants. What pants do the nobles wear? What pants do the nobles wear? Hold on. I gotta look up what pants the nobles wear. Because it always matches, and I want to know what it is. Nobles. Kenshi. What pants do they wear? The Noble Circle. Very interesting. Very interesting. Who's in the Noble Circle? Look up Lordy Nabo. What pants are you wearing? He's wearing dyed trousers. Good to know. Dyed trousers. So that's what we need. So dyed trousers. Dyed trousers right there. That's what we love. Dyed trousers. We're going to remove the dyed robe. So he's got mercenary plate and dyed trousers with my color scheme on there, which should be cool. Maybe there's a way to give him a custom persona in case Sentient Sands is installed. I think you have to... I might be able to. That might be beyond my... beyond what I can do, but I'm going to give it a shot because that would be good. That would be cool. Where's uniform? If true, the NPC's clothing is branded as a faction uniform. This reduces resale value and also wearing has implications. I'm going to say yes. Yes. His color is a faction uniform, which is orange. Everything he wears is orange. You have to fucking put up with it. That's what we do here. Okay. All right. Now, he's currently listed as being a Holy Nation outlaw, and I'm pretty sure that's because of the faction that he's a part of. So I'm actually going to change the faction. Oh no, because if I change the faction, I think it'll change the squad that he's in, right? Hub squatters. Yeah, it'll change the thing that he's in here. I think he's part of the Holy Nation outlaws. Okay, well that's fine. We'll check that after. First things first, we got to make sure that it works. First things first, we got to make sure that it works. So, dear old Gearlock, we're going to load back in and we're going to give it another go. All right, make sure it's on. It is fantabulous. Righty, and now we're loading in. Luckily, Kenshi opens pretty quick. That's pretty cool. Game, Wanderer, get started. And he should wander up to us because he's using Beep's dialogue package, so he should come looking for us. And he should be recruitable because of that. We should be able to just talk to him and recruit him. Hopefully. Hopefully. We can edit it from there, though. Hopefully it works. All right. Hop on in. He's going to spawn. Where you at, you magnificent bastard? We're looking for a skeleton in orange. Orange pants. He should have bright orange pants. There he is, saying beep. And he's got the plate mail and everything. We love it. Okay. Fantastic. Let's head on over and talk to him. We should be able to recruit him. And then from there, we just have to edit some dialogue on him as well. We can start to get into the real meat and potatoes. Start to make this, more in depth, more interesting. Hi, Beep. We're going to skip through all that because we know what it is. It's just Beep's dialogue, and it should... He is now part of the team, so we now officially have Gearlock on the team. So he is recruitable. He's here. Now we're going to make a copy of Beep's recruitment dialogue, and now he should also have the skeleton package as well for his travel dialogue. So now we just have to edit, make a copy of Beep's recruitment dialogue, edit it, and then do the same thing with his normal dialogue. We can go through and start to add a couple of details in different areas. So he is recruitable and he is locatable, which is good. What's his Nodachi start at? Model Mark 1 by the Skeleton Smiths. Love it. Gear is kind of shit. Gear is kind of shit, which is fine. I don't know if we're going to keep him with the mercenary plate. I was more or less just curious to how that would look. I will say that the dyed trousers are an interesting color. He doesn't have a bounty because it doesn't display the... I mean, he has a bounty, but it doesn't display the bounty with, like, factions like the Machinists and whatnot. But he is wanted by the Machinists, and they should attack him on sight, if I recall. Because of the way I have him set. He's got a bounty with the Machinists, which makes sense. So they should... And I think eventually I want to add some unique dialogue for Io. So, like, if he goes up and talks, like, to Io or anything, or if Io sees him in the party... Io will actually comment about how Gearlock is not welcome here as a result of him betraying his kind, but maybe not giving full details, but like, the danger he poses to skeleton kind as a result of him running his mouth. And I think if you talk to Io or the Machinist with Gearlock in your party, he'll turn hostile. You'll automatically be wanted by the Machinist. Because, obviously Io is going out of his way to try and cover up the situations of the First Empire, whereas Gearlock's going to speak more openly and kind of refuse to submit to that idea that he should have to hide. So, very good, very good, very good. Very good. Okay, so we've got him working. Now we got to edit some dialogue. We got to edit some dialogue packages. So we're going to go to the Beep's recruitment dialogue. And we're going to make a copy of it, and then we're going to edit it out. We're going to edit it out. How did he manage to retain his memories? Skeletons don't lose their memories. That's a myth. That's a lie of convenience. Skeletons don't lose their memories. They do reset, but they do not lose their memories. They reset their stats, they reset their personality and their emotions, but their memories stay intact. They do not lose them. They use that as a lie of convenience. Bro, not gonna lie, I got off in like 100 of your videos on my feed after this, and the glitch happened. It said every single one was live hero as 500 clones of the live streaming at the same time. He's sending it. It's true. It's true. I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. It was all me. I did it purely on purpose. Purely on purpose. I thought the memories went away with the resets too. Okay, yeah, so the memories disappearing are a lie of convenience. The skeletons will tell you that their memories disappear, but they do that because they're trying to hide the circumstances of the fall of the First Empire, and the Age of Chaos. Yeah, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to reveal that they almost wiped out humanity, and then there was a civil war to decide whether or not humanity was going to happen. Whether or not humanity could survive between the skeletons after the First Empire fell. And so what they do is they take an actual process that they have to do and they add in the extra detail. It's that way they're not really lying. It's more of a lie of omittance. It's a convenient lie, right? Like the easiest way to convince people of a lie is to throw in a little is to throw the lie in with some truth, right? They do have to reset. They do have to reset. They do lose their skills. They do lose their personality and their emotions. They don't lose their memories. But if they tell everyone they also lose their memories during this process that they absolutely have to do, why wouldn't you believe them? So that's kind of the deal with it. Yeah, the resets are a lie. I mean, the resets are true. The memory portion of the resets are a lie, and not a lie. I'm gonna give them standard gear. Okay, so stats in the 20s. That's fine. Venture class. We need to make a copy of Beep's dialogues. What it is. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Where are you? Dialogue packages. So we're gonna go with Beep, and we're gonna look for Beep Recruit, and we're gonna make a copy of the Beep Recruit dialogue. Why won't you let me duplicate the item? Really? I can't duplicate Beep's Recruit dialogue. Why is that? That's not true. I've done this before. Why is this? Why is it saying I can't do that? I can do whatever I want. All right, fine. What we'll do then is we'll make a rough I'll use this as a rough copy. It's from Beep the player. Yeah, why is that? Why is that? That's super weird. Why is it not letting me duplicate the dialogue package? Shouldn't be a problem. Can I duplicate anyone else's? No, I can't duplicate any of the dialogue packages. That's very weird. Very, very weird. Does it think Kenshi's still open? Sometimes that's an issue. No. That is very odd. Here, let me no, because I already did all that. Let me turn off all these extra mods because I don't want it to have any unnecessary dependencies. All right, we're gonna reopen. Hold on. A recent backup was made of the history mod was detected. You want to restore it? No. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Double click on an element and then click the button you wish to duplicate there. Interesting. All right, fine. I'll give that a go. Dialogue packages, Beep, Recruit. Copy ID. I may have to just make it by hand, copy it by hand. Yeah, I may have to copy it by hand. That's fine. That's fine. Hold on. Right next to the name. What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean? Right here? Oh, duplicate package. You're a genius, Rune. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm over here fucking what is happening? What's going on? Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna do Gearlock and then Recruit. Okay, so now he's got a copy from the Beep. Inherits from Beep player. We're gonna have to obviously make a copy of that one as well. duplicate package, Gearlock player. Gearlock player, and that's inherited from Hyver Ronin, which is fine. I think we're going to delete the inherits from. What is the inherits from again? Any dialogue packages here will also be combined. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. And we're actually going to add the actually, no, we're not going to add anything from that. We're just going to leave that as it is. Actually, you know what? Instead of the dialogue package for Gearlock player being where things are recruited from, I think instead what I'm going to do is copy the player skeleton one. That's what I need to do. So we're actually going to delete the Gearlock player one. Gearlock player, we're going to delete that. We don't need that. What we do need, however, is the skeleton one. What is it? Player skeleton? Player skeleton. That's the one. So open this up, and we're going to duplicate this one, and this one will be the Gearlock player. Because then most of the dialogue packages that we need, or a lot of the unique dialogue that skeletons have, we can go in and we can change them, and it makes less work for us in the long run. Less work for us in the long run. Okay, so we've got that. And then you're going to do inherits from Gearlock player. Love that. Delete that. Stunning, 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 stunning. Okay, so now we can change the recruit packages for this whole deal here. So let's go in and edit this out. We're not. I don't think I'm going to have him run run for us. That's not the intent. Not that I think that he shouldn't by default anyway. So we talked to him. So we talked to him, and then let me just make sure there's no alterations in the lines of text here, which there are not. So we're going to delete all the branches from the bottom here, and we're going to go. Actually, hold on. Where's the one where he becomes? He joins us. That's the other thing that I need to know. Welcome to the team. DA joined squad. Okay. What is it? Like join squad fast. Okay, so that's what I need to know on that. So when he finally joins the squad, that's how he does it. So now we need to come up with some unique dialogue for him, some interesting lines of dialogue, right? So we're going to delete these branches and we're going to make the dialogue package as we go. As we go. Delete all of these branches. Delete branch. Delete branch. All right, so he says hi. So he's no longer saying beep. We need to change what he says. What would he? How do you think a character like this would introduce themselves? What would be the introduction to? What do you think their introduction would be? Character speaks to Gearlock. Also player actually. Player speaks to Gearlock. So. You go up, you talk to him. He's recruitable to me. Yes. Monologue, true. So everything here should be fine. So first line of dialogue, he introduces himself. How would he introduce himself? Let's put ourselves in the position of the NPC and think about it. How would a skeleton that is super fucking old and open about the situation introduce themselves? Now we also have to take into account that maybe they're not talking to a skeleton character. They could be. I mean, they could be talking to a skeleton character, and eventually, I want to add unique lines of dialogue to, take those things into account as well. But that's kind of farther down the line. So I think right now we're just going to experiment with some base dialogue. Then, are you like someone who has an itch to see the world as it truly is? Just kind of like a random, line of dialogue, something that maybe someone with many years of experience would say. So this is to me, And so we need to change this to the target, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll pull up another dialogue package just to be sure on that. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Am I changing the wrong one? I might be changing the wrong one. Oh no. Oh no. Am I changing the wrong one? I might be changing the wrong one. Hold on. No, I'm not. No. 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 Gearlock recruit. From there, that deep recruit dialogue package. Hold on. Gotta make sure I didn't just mess up Beep's dialogue package. I might have. Beep recruit. I did. Oh no. That's not gonna work. Got to fix that. Okay. So now I got to figure out how to duplicate that without messing up Beep's original dialogue package, because we just did a second ago. Recruit, delete that. Beep player copy, delete that. Gearlock intro. Oh man. The complexities. You got to duplicate the dialogue and the dialogue package. Interesting. So I have to duplicate this as well. Because we can't duplicate the dialogue package. So I mean, we duplicate the dialogue package. All right, where's dialogue? Getting ahead of myself. Okay, so when you say duplicate the dialogue and the dialogue package, what do you mean? 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 Edits. Do I have to do in here too? Duplicate this dialogue? Interesting. Okay. I see what you're saying. I think I see what you're saying. Now, how do we assign this to this new line of dialogue, like the duplicated version? How do we assign this duplication to the other one? So, Gearlock. Hold on. Player speaks to Gearlock. Right, and we're gonna change this one to Gear, just so I can tell them apart. All right, so Beeps is still there. Add dialogue. Player speaks to Gearlock. Okay, all right, we're there. I got it. We're there. I got it. We're there. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, we're there now. Real-time learning, everybody. Real-time learning. All right, duplicate this package. That's a copy of a copy. I didn't need to do that. Didn't need to do that. Delete the copy of copy. What we need to do is go into Beep player. This one should be fine because this is just a duplication of. Oh, we're gonna have to do it for all of this stuff, aren't we? No. That's annoying. Try not to backseat too much. Figuring out is half the fun. I mean, please do backseat. Listen, if I'm taking forever with something, or if I'm struggling with something, please do backseat. That's part of the whole thing with doing these on stream is that I have the chat to help me out, so I don't have to spend 2 hours googling shit. Please do help me out. Okay. So I think we're gonna have to copy each one of these, aren't we? Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna do the skeleton ones anyway, the player ones, so we're not gonna bother with that. Where is it? The EV player talked to me really easily when you're interested in the other dialogues do not allow for the player responses. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Some of the other dialogue packages here are ones that your character says during specific events, because I edited all of these when I was doing Darth Beep and when I was doing like Agnew's dialogue and all that stuff. So I will end up doing these eventually, but maybe it's not something I should worry about right now. Maybe it's not something I should worry about right now. We're going to delete the player copy for that. And what I am going to do is I'm going to get the player skeleton copy, which is the one that I want to duplicate. And we are going to end up having to redo some of these as well, copying these out as well. So interesting stuff, everybody. Interesting stuff. But we will get to those later anyway. Right now, it's not super important. So we'll deal with those after. All right, so player skeleton dialogue package is there. And then what is it? There's I think it's the locational the biome packages is the one we're going to. Is it biome? Spawn area. All right, hold on. Yeah, so I think it's in each area. There's specific dialogue packages that can arrival dialogue. Yeah, and so we need to make arrival dialogues that include where if the player is in those if the character is in there, then they will have those. So where are the arrival dialogues stored at? Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Where are the arrival dialogues stored at? I'm getting ahead of myself. I focus on one thing at a time, Dave. One thing at a time. You're getting ahead of yourself. Okay. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. I have to go in and edit. There we go. We're going to delete that branch. We're going to delete. We're going to delete that branch, delete that branch, and delete that branch. So we have our first line of gear. So now we're going to go back to what we were doing, which is his initial intro dialogue. So someone who world through see the world as it truly is. All right, and then we're going to add a new line of dialogue for the player, which is going to be to target. What's the text? I'm going to assume they're probably caught off guard. You mean? Fantastic. And then we're just going to keep adding lines, and then eventually here, we're going to get to the dialogue where they join us. So I'm just going to do a quick 3-line run. So I'm not going to have any crazy dialogue yet. I just want to see if we can get them in there. Add the effect. Player joins squad fast. I think it should be 0. If I recall when they hit here. Let me double check on Beep's original dialogue. Dialogue package Beep recruit. Get to the end here. I need to actually go to edit what it is. Okay. Get to the end. Welcome to the team, Beep 0. He joins the squad. So that should be fine. Use Beeps as the baseline. Okay, so we're just gonna have him join the squad here. Say never mind. I'm coming with you. Yeah, I'm just gonna say never mind. I'm coming with you. Okay, so he'll respond with that, and then he should just join the party. He should just straight up join the party after that. He's not hunting down the player. He's not looking for them or anything like that. He doesn't have that package. So, yeah, should be good. All right. Now we just need to change his recruitment dialogue to Gearlock intro. Perfect. And eventually we're going to make a copy of the skeleton dialogue package. Yeah, we'll make a duplicate of the skeleton dialogue package, but that'll be for later. Now, as for the dyed trousers and the mercenary plates, I think I'm going to actually change the hero color to be a little bit darker. It's a little light for me. I look like a sunburnt orange bordering on red. Yeah. That's good. All right, we'll lower that down a little bit, like right there. That's good. And then the gray, we can be more gray. There we go. Look at dark gray. Good. Good. Okay. Um, I like it. I like it. Okay. We're gonna give it a go. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Yeah, I halfway wondered if people were even going to enjoy just sitting here like watching me mod and all that stuff, like create a mod, but I don't know, people watch people program and stuff, so I imagine if you can sit down and listen to someone program, then you can sit down and listen to me struggle my way through the forgotten construction set. So, you know, if you can watch someone program a game, you can watch me struggle my way through the FCS. Got to be entertaining for somebody. All right. Jump on in. Let's see where we find him. We should be able to recognize him right away. He's got a very, unique look to him. Very orange. There he is. Look at that. You can see him. You can't miss him. Can't miss him. Yeah, I like that dark orange way better. It feels less faded. Always interesting. I love having a dev or a modding stream on the side when I work on my own projects. Yeah, it's fun. And again, this is a new territory for me, and this is a project that I'm going to be working on both on and probably off stream. Okay, so we have to actually change his deal there because he's still doing the beep as he's wandering around. That's something that I have to fix. I'm pretty sure that's in the dialogue package that we took from beep, so we do have to change that around. All right, wait, what do you mean? Never mind, I'm coming with you, and then he joins. Okay. All right, so now he's with us, and he's part of the group. So that initial dialogue package does work. That initial dialogue package does work. We are going to have to add more dialogue to him. I need to change some of the dialogue that he has when he's wandering, and also it looked like when I first loaded in, he was running towards me, which I think may be part of his package right now too. That he is a byproduct of the way Beeps is set up, where if he sees the player, he runs towards the player. I'm going to reload a new game and see if he does that again, where he runs towards the player. I want that to, I want to cut. Actually, we may end up keeping that now that I think about with the dialogue package the dialogue that I gave him. We may keep that, but let's find out. Let's see. So he spawns up there, and then he's probably going to run towards the player, which is what we want to see. We'll have to determine if that's something we want to remove or not. So he's going to yell beep, and he's going to run towards the player, right? Yeah. Now, is he going to engage conversation with the player? Because if he does, that's actually pretty cool, too. But I don't think he's going to. No. So I wonder if I can get it so that way he actually approaches the player and is like, hey, you look like somebody I wanna team up with. You know, let me come with you, and then we'll kind of get more into the meat and potatoes of it when he goes. So interesting. We've got a good base though. We do need to change this static standing dialogue though, because that's not going to work. Obviously, not for what we're doing. But he's working. So we've got to recruit. Dialogue is starting. So let's go into the Gearlock intro package and see what we can do from there. Neutral squad, beep following, beep, dot, I beep, dot, beep. Okay. And this is it. So beep following. Non-player in town, -1. So yeah, so if he sees a player, it becomes a yes. All right, so we're actually going to get rid of. Here's what we'll do. Now, the question is, do we have him just repeat this dialogue? Repetition chance, no limit. No, I think I'm going to put it as Be short. How the frequency this can be played. Only once. Only one time. I don't want him to overdo it. I don't want him to like. The thing is I don't want I don't want the dialogue to be annoying, right? Like I don't want him to run up and be like, "Hey, hey, hey, you, hey, listen, listen, hey, hey, hey." I don't want that, right? That'd be annoying. And instead with Beep, it's you know, it's adorable. With him, it's less so, you know. So, um, so we'll just have him say, Wanderer. I want him to have like an eloquent level of speech too. Have a word with you. Don't need multiple lines of text because we're not going to be using those. That's fine. Wish to have a word with you. Have an offer you might be interested in. Why is this one an offshoot? I don't think I need that to be there. Oh, yep. Always do that every time. I always forget that if you hit delete instead of delete branch, it does the thing. Okay. Hold on. Too bad we don't have linguistics info about the language used in the First Empire. That's true. That's true. I'm assuming it's probably, you know, whatever language is native to Kenshi, like whatever language everyone else is speaking is there. But I do wish that we knew like I wish that we knew some like slang that the First Empire used, right? That'd be fun. I may have some interest. I have an offer that might interest you. First I need to change this from beep following because it's not beep. I'm gonna do Gearlock approaching. Approaching. Die, and then can I actually set it to have him no longer follow the player? What is the deal with that? We'll get him to break off. Probably didn't change much after giving it a thought. Skeletons might be the reason that it didn't change. They are the continuity. Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's a fair point. The skeletons are the main consistent in the world. There's a good chance that because you got to think about it, how much Catlon standardized a lot of things, right? Like um he standardized equipment, he standardized the currency. You know, like he kind of standardized a lot of stuff. Language was probably amongst that. Language was probably involved in that as well. So, okay, so I have an offer you might be interested in. I hold on. I wish to have a word with you. I have an offer you might be interested. How else would we respond after that? Hold on. Wanderer, I wish to have a word with you. I have an offer you might be interested in. Just a moment of your time. Just a moment of your time. Fantastic. Okay. So we're going to have him start with that. He's got his approaching dialogue. They walk up to him and he's not beeping and stuff like crazy. He is approaching you and following you around. He's probably a little pushy and whatnot, but I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. And then you talk to him, and that's what you get. So then we get the main dialogue. So then we can kind of go on from there. I also don't know how I feel about the mercenary. I mean the dyed trousers. I may actually end up getting rid of the dyed trousers and instead replacing them with uh the samurai leggings, the samurai leg plates, because I'm pretty sure those can also be dyed. Pretty sure the samurai leg Can also be. I think that would look. That's a good look. Plus, you know, he's old. He's old. The ancient samurai leg plates make sense. They're rusty. They've got the orange look, which is what we're going for. Um, and the idea is that he's a traveler. He's a wanderer. He's been around the block once or twice. You know what I'm saying? And we should also probably give him a backpack. What kind of backpack do we want to give him? Just a small, like a thieves backpack or something, probably. We'll give him a medium backpack. Yeah, we'll give him a medium backpack. I don't want to give him anything too big, but a medium backpack. Okay, so let's test out to see if he's going to chase after the player now and just start yelling things at him. Oh man. All right. Let's see if he's just going to start yelling things at him. Or if he's going to start yelling beep at him, or if he's going to start yelling, the things that we told him to yell at you. Time is it? It is 10:10. Yeah, we'll probably go to like 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's going to be a later stream tonight and a later stream tomorrow. Like I said, I've got a lot of stuff to do this weekend. And then Monday, we'll be here right fresh with a brand new series, and we'll be popping right back into the full long, 8:30 to 12:30, 1 a.m. streams. But this week, I've just got so much shit going on. All right, so Gearlock spawns. He's got those ancient samurai pants. We're gonna head on up here and see if he engages with the player in the way that we want him to. Now I am gonna have to add a dialogue specificities to not. Basically, I'm gonna have to add 2 lines of dialogue depending on whether or not the player is a skeleton or if the player is a human, because I do think that that is important to add some continuity, some not continuity, to basically add some what's the word? It wouldn't make sense, I guess, is the point that I'm trying to make. It wouldn't make sense if he's like sitting here spelling out the history of Kenshi to another skeleton. Instead, they'd be talking about it more like from a level of familiarity, So he is not approaching the player now, which is interesting. And I seem to not be able to talk to him, which is also interesting. How that has worked. Yeah, so it won't let me talk to him now, which is interesting. Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think I know what happened. I think I did the thing again, which is where is it? The neutral squad. Yeah, so all right, hold on. Here's what I need to do. I need to duplicate this. I have made a whoopsie. This is going to be something that I'm going to be doing constantly. Duplicate that dialogue. Gearlock approaching. Okay. We need to alter this dialogue here to go back to beep. That should not have been changed, because this is the beep following dialogue, and that's not the one that we want to alter. Never mind, coming with you, all that stuff. Yeah, okay. Oh my god, this is going to be one of those things that I do constantly. V short 20 minutes. I think I'm going to have to edit that as well. All right, so we're going to delete you, add dialogue. Gearlock approaching, copy. Then we're going to delete, remove that. Okay. I'm going to have to constantly do this because I keep forgetting that you can't just go in and edit the dialogue. You have to make a copy of the dialogue and then add it back in. All right. Dialogue only once. Don't like that. Short 20. Well, I guess we'll keep it at short 20 for now, and we'll see how that goes. Moment of your time. So that should be fine. Let me make sure this is still in there. All good on that. Fix the clothing. Samurai. If we just do the normal samurai pants, leg plates, it should change the belt to be orange, which should look good. I'm back for good for now. Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're adding dialogue, but we're just double checking our things here. Yeah. All right. Everything looks good now. Everything looks good for now. So we've saved the mod, and let's try it again, see if it actually works this time. He should approach the player now, and he should try to get their attention. And this is going to be my little pet project for a while until eventually I release it, and then I'll probably update it more after I release it. But this is this is my pet project for a while. All right, new game, load in. My cat doesn't know you're here yet. Let's hope he doesn't attack the screen. What could I say? It's what I do. All right. Now we're going to load in. So now he should approach the player. And he should try to get their attention. There. He's got samurai leg pants. He's got his orange top. My dude's looking swole, looking good. And he should approach the player. See if that happens. Wanderer! I wish to have a word with you. See if he goes through the whole thing. He's getting pulled away by the crowd. Haha. I have an offer you might be interested in. I wish to have a word with you. And so then there's a yeah, he's going to cycle back and forth between the options. He's going to keep looping back. So I do need to fix that because right now he is he's going to come off as annoying. He's going to be talking too much. And that's going to annoy people. Okay, so dialogue is there. We do have to edit it so that way it's not repeating so much, going back and forth between the lines, which should be easy enough. Should be easy enough. As for everything else that's there. So I think the idea is that he's a freshly reset skeleton. Not fresh, but like fresh enough. Like maybe he reset just like a couple of years ago, right? And he wants to continue his journey across Kenshi. Traveling the face of Kenji and whatnot, telling the truth of, the past and whatnot. He wants to explore Kenshi once again. It's something that he does maybe every couple of years. He's an adventurer himself. But he's freshly reset, and because he's been freshly reset, his stats are kind of shit, Holy shit. That is a lot of words. The stream is Super Skivity Awesome. Initiate Super Skivity Raider rating 25%, rating 35%. My God. My God. Okay. And yeah, thanks, I suppose. So I think the idea is that he wants to travel the face of Kenshi, right? And yeah, that was a lot. He wants to travel around, but he knows that Kenshi's dangerous. He's freshly reset, and so he's looking for someone to travel around Kenshi with, and explain the history of the world. So we're gonna edit some dialogue some more now that we know that's working. We also got to get rid of that annoying repetition at the beginning. Bop the annoying repetition at the beginning. All right. You look like so. Yeah. So we can fix that in a minute. Now we're editing a new dialogue package, so that's cool. And we got to get rid of this portion of thing, the temporary, chance temporary, all that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to edit dialogue. I have an offer you might be interested in. Hero, Hero, I just went brain dead. I had flashbacks to school. Help me. It happens. It happens. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. We'll delete this particular branch. I don't want to deal with that. 25% chance. We'll go 100, and I don't want it to repeat. That's not what we want it to do. So how do we get it so that way this doesn't repeat? Have a moment. I have an offer you may be interested. Just a moment of your time. And then hopefully after this, it stops. After that, it stops. Let's change it's very short, 20. We'll change this to medium, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Then hopefully it only plays to once because it's too long. There's the root. And hopefully that takes care of that. So after we jump into that, new player talk to me. We're going to change this in initial dialogue. I appreciate stopping. Hold on. Hello, I appreciate you stopping. Yeah, no problem. Is it that you... hold on, what is the offer? Offer that you mentioned. And then we're going to have to edit this in the actual dialogue because we are not having him join the squad just yet, right there. So we're going to actually remove. See, I am an adventurer, or I was, anyway. I'll sort of. I'm gonna kind of have him allude to the skeleton reset process about how it's almost like ego death, right? Like it's a death of one's sense of self, and go from there. So where I was anyway, well, sort of the old me was. It's complicated. And then we'll add another line where he jumps in after that, also to him. Anyway, I want to continue my travels. No, actually, hold on. Anyway, he's been stuck in the hub for a while. I've been stuck in hub since just after. I'm gonna have him say that he reset just after the Shet Kingdom lost control of. I mean, just after, yeah, after the Shet Kingdom abandoned the city. Just after the Shek abandoned the city. I've been stuck in the hub since just after this Shek abandoned the city. Been wanting to leave, but unfortunately, as I am now, I can't do it alone. Love it. Okay. Likely have as a pile of scrap on the side. Pile of scrap in the dirt before I get of the border zone. And even if I do, belong in Okranite territory. So, hold on. So I have a proposal. Let's see. Hold on. Bandits will likely have me as a pile of scrap in the dirt before I even make it out of the border zone. And even if I do, I won't make it long in Okranite territory. Always a shame when. No, because I want there to be a little bit of a lead up, right? Like he's obviously like, you know, the old me was an adventurer, but I'm not. But also, it is me. Like, I don't want him to kind of just like spill it all at once. Like, the idea isn't that he's like an encyclopedia of knowledge. Like, I don't want it to be kind of fourth wally. I want it to be organic. The information he's giving the player, the lore he's giving the player, to be organic and done in a way that's very like role play oriented. So, bandits luckily have me as a pile of scrap in the road before I leave the dirt, and even if I do, I won't make it make it long in Oakernite territory. So I have here. We'll hold off on the proposal part. Territories now. Add new line. This one is up the player. Don't really understand, but I don't really understand what this has to do with me. Hero starts spamming lore for no apparent reason, so my ADHD plagued brain focuses. You got to give me prompts, okay? You got to give me prompts. I can't just start spamming lore. You got to give me prompts. Oh, I got to fix that. I got a spelling mistake. I know. I don't really understand what this has to do with me. Right. Sorry. Still getting used this clarity of mind. Yeah. Still getting used to the clarity of mind. Anything Western Hive related? I mean, well, shit. What can I talk about with the Western Hive? What can I talk about with the Western Hive? I don't really have anything for the Western Hive right now. You gotta give me specifics. Like Kenshi's a very big game. It's like asking me to just like explain world history to you. Like, where do you want me to start, my friend? All right. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the clarity of mind. Add line. Like someone who is out to do some traveling, adventuring themselves. We'll keep the nomenclature, the verbiage similar. Do some adventuring themselves. I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong. You look like someone who's about to do some adventuring themselves. Hold on. You look like someone who's about to do some adventuring themselves. I'm offering is a for your journey, for your travels. Your sword for your travels. Conversation. Hold on, man. Some conversation on the road. Exchange. We'll add another line of dialogue for that. Exchange I to the world again. You get a near, what is it? You get an this soldier. Hold on. Can you get a face of Kenshi for, occurs to me. Maybe this is just me being dumb right now. Do they ever refer to Kenshi as Kenshi, like in game? Like, do the people on Kenshi refer to it as Kenshi? Has anyone done that? Am Am I missing something right now? Have they ever done that? I mean, it would make sense if they don't, but I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't think I can remember a time when they've done that. Can't recall the word Kenshi ever being said. Yeah. Word Kenshi. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. No, the word Kenshi is never spoken and written within the game's lore or dialogue. Uh, Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, then I need to do that to me. All right. I need to alter that. Who has walked these lands? Hey, Vivia, what's going on? Need warriors walk these lands thousands of years. Granted, I am not as skilled as used to be, but I'm sure I can be of use to you. In exchange, you get to see the world again, and you get a warrior who's walked these lands for thousands of years. Granted, I'm not as skilled as I used to be, but I'm sure I can be of use to you. What's the mod about? I'm making a follower mod. I'm making a follower mod that is going to be um I'm going to put it on the workshop, but basically it's going to be like having I don't want to use the term self insert because it's not the goal. It's not meant to be me. But the idea is that it's going to be a skeleton character who is not abiding by the whole let's cover up Kenshi's history thing, and instead will act as a way to organically in roleplay get lore as you're traveling across the face of Kenshi. So he'll have unique dialogue about specific areas and maybe things in the past that have happened and stuff. So as you're traveling, you can get tidbits of lore in the game from a character. And I'm also going to add in eventually some unique dialogue with like Io, who Io is going to have him set to be basically this character is going to be wanted by Io and the Machinist. Like he is public enemy number one. Io has made up some kind of crazy lie about him, a lie about him. The Machinists do not like him because he refuses to adhere to the whole "let's hide the past" thing. But it's gonna be a way for like people to get lore organically in the game as they're playing with a character that's willing to deliver it to them. And the premise that we've come up with so far is that he's a skeleton character who is semi-recent to a reset. So the idea that we're running on right now is he was in the hub when it was taken over by the Shek, or he stopped in the hub after it was taken by the Shek. But when the Shek abandoned the hub, he's been kind of stuck here because he's freshly reset. So his personality is different. His emotions are gone. He's a little bit more clear in terms of his mental faculties. He's got more clarity, but he lost all of his skills. And so he's been kind of stuck in the hub because he knows that, like, hey, I'm not as strong as I was, a couple of months ago. I can't really leave here right now because I'm going to die. And so he's been kind of waiting around. And when your player character goes through the hub, he's going to seek you out and be like, hey, you look like someone who's, going to be doing some traveling. And I'd like to lend my, skills to you because I want to do some traveling again. But in my current state, I can't do it. And in exchange, you get someone who's, familiar with the land, or he puts it as a warrior that's walked the lands for thousands of years. And, he doesn't I want him to spill things out organically in a way that, like, gives him a little bit of a story, like in the beginning here, he's like, I'm an adventurer, or I was anyway, sort of the old me. It's complicated. Like he doesn't just come out and tell you like, oh, I'm a skeleton that's reset and all that stuff. He's gonna kind of talk about it slowly as he opens up to as you travel with him and all of that stuff. So, yeah, give him some interesting dialogue and all that whatnot. All right. I appreciate you stopping. Yeah, no problem. What's the offer you had in mind? I really don't. It has to do with me. Um, Still getting used to the clarity of mind. I'm gonna do the first few months and to talk a lot more than usual. And again, I kind of want him to to do it, organically. So like in the beginning, he approaches you. He's like, "I have the offer," and he says, "There's the old me was an adventurer, but not me. It's complicated." When he's really babbling a lot, and when the character questions him on it, he's like, "I'm still getting used to the clarity of mind because he had just reset. So before there was um there was like he was starting to go insane. Maybe he was a little bit more jumbly, a little bit more rambly, not rambly, but like more focused. He was starting to experience that CPU burnout, so he reset, and now his stats are shit. But with that clarity of mind, maybe like the first couple of months after he resets, he talks more. You know, um, yeah. Kenshi is not the name of the planet. Is Moon, not planet Moon. Kenshi is not the name of the moon. It means strong swordsman in Japanese. I really don't think the name has anything to do with the lore. Um, I do think that I do think Chris has said that the moon's name is Kenshi, but um, I think at this point that like everyone on Kenshi has forgotten that it's called Kenshi. I think is the implication, but because I think that Chris has said that the moon is named Kenshi. Kenshi is a title locked moon. Not he hasn't said that Kenshi takes place on a tidally locked moon. He said Kenshi is a tidally locked moon. I'd have to double check. I'd have to double check. Hero got triggered. No, 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 not triggered. Just making the correction. Making the correction. That's all. All right. So, in exchange, I get to see the world again, and you get a warriors walk these lands for thousands of years. Granted, I'm not as skilled as I used to be, but I am sure I can be of use to you. Well, hold on. How would someone respond? Random skeleton walks up to you and is like, "Hey, a little rambly right now, but I kind of want to travel with you. Do you care if I come with?" I'm gonna have to give him two separate dialogue lines that you can choose. Two separate options. To the target, to the target. He just crashes out, grabs monitor, and says real calm, "It's a moon, not a planet. A moon." You son of a bitch, get it right. No. No crash outs here. One that says fuck off. Hell yeah, we do love one that says fuck off. Yeah, fuck off. Interested in. Not interested. I'm gonna have one where it's purely distrustful. Purely distrustful. Like yeah, fuck off. I'm not interested in getting stabbed the back by some random skeleton. Add line. Ah, well. Can't hold on. Say I am surprised. Kind has more has become rightfully much more. I'm gonna say has become rightfully. I'm just actually, it's just become much more distrustful in recent centuries. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Your kind has become much more distrustful of recent centuries. Hearing me out anyway. All right, so and then dialogue. I want to say that this dialogue can only occur one time. Yeah, with 100% chance. And then there's going to be another line of dialogue that happens after you talk to him. This one might be not quite as easy. 100% chance. Percentage chance the character will use this dial. I don't care about that. Um, Wait, how old do you think Beep is? Oh God, not that old. Not that old. He's 5. Beep is 5. Beep is 5. Permanent assignment or absence and is safe forever. Used to make rare and occasional character. Interesting. There's got to be a way. That's one thing I've got to figure out how to do is how to make it so that way. If this line has already been used, then this dialogue will occur. I got to figure out how to do that. I have to figure out how to do that. Hero took the quick way out. Yeah, whatever Rune said. 5. I saw the number 5 first. That's the answer. It's 5. I have no idea. I don't know how old Beep is. We don't really have any way to know. I don't imagine he's too old, unless he's been wandering around Mongrel for fucking 15, 20 years. But I imagine he's not that old. Beep is 5. Igor is in his 30s. Ray is in his early 20s. Green is in his late 20s. Gray is in his late 50s. Griffin is in his mid 30s, I believe. Yeah. Those numbers sound okay. I'm okay with those numbers. They sound fair. I'd have to look more carefully, but they sound okay. Maybe if you tell him maybe if you tell him to fuck off, that's it. That's it. Like you don't get to go with him. I imagine that if you did that, that'd be fine. So yeah. Yeah, you only get to do it once. If you tell him to fuck off, that's it. Reload, sorry. You hit the wrong button. I'm sorry to tell you, you hit the wrong button. Agnew is 200 in dog years. Agnew's an old boy. Okay, so Graham is what I'm sure I can be of use to you. Could use some extra help. What? How can be sure I can trust you? All right, add line. To me. All skeletons are for sure 10k plus. Oh yeah. No. For sure. Old. Between 5 and 10,000 years for the skeletons. Somewhere between 5 and 10,000 plus years. Minimum 5, but that's being generous. 10,000 is probably closer. So, anyway, I could use some extra help. How can I be sure I can trust you? I mean, in fairness, you don't. But that is part of the experience, isn't it? Add line. I think that's it's gonna be he's he's figuring out who he is still. He's basically like a toddler. He's still figuring out the kind of skeleton that he is, the kind of person that he is. Just ... from the player. That's a bad answer, not a great answer. How old is the current Phoenix? He looks like he could be in his 50s or 60s, or he's just natural white hair. I think he's only in his like mid 40s. I think the white hair is from stress. I think he's only in his mid 40s. I don't think he's actually that old. I think he's in his mid 40s. I'm pretty sure the white hair is just a stress thing. Got to be a really tough position that he's in, to be honest with you. Aside from the fact that like he's obviously a dick, but like he's got to be in a very tough position in general. He's got to be constantly stressed out, always on guard, always, it can't be very easy, to be honest with you. It seems ideal, like, oh, he's the Phoenix and everyone has to listen to him and everything he said is taken as gospel, but also like he's got to run his entire empire. He's got to do so within the confines of the church, right? Like he's got to make sure he's constantly being the beacon and paragon of Okrinism. He can't afford to have any slip ups. He has to be effectively perfect in the eyes of the church, So that's got to be stressful. He's not allowed to be anything less than perfect at all times in the eyes of the clergy. So Gotta be tough. Gotta be tough. He's a dick, but I do think he's stressed out, you know? I think that we can at least give him that. He may be a bad person, but he is under a lot of stress. He's younger than Hero. I think even the skeletons are. I am funny. I'm not even old, man. I'm 28. I'm not even that old. I'm not even 30. Not yet. That's next year. Next year I'm 30. All right. In fairness, you don't, but that's part of the experience, isn't it? Dot dot dot. Was that a bad joke? I am still. Hold on. What a bad joke. I don't know if I'm funny yet. I'm really gonna lean into the example that I've used in videos before is the Doctor Who reference, like with skeletons reset, that it feels like dying when they regenerate and all that stuff. And I really am gonna try to lean into that hard with this character, where like he really is figuring out who he is, right? So like, you know, he makes a bad joke here, and the player character is like, "What? Like what the fuck?" And he's like, "Yo, sorry, that was a bad joke. I don't know if I'm funny this time yet." Like maybe he was funny the last time. He's still really figuring out who he is, and I think that's a cool idea. Um, I am not stab you in the back. Yeah, new teeth. Yeah, yeah. Scout's honor. I'm not gonna stab you in the back. You have my word. But that is can offer you. Unfortunately. Stand if you don't join you, but we could have hold on, I think hold on, we'll just back off. That's all I can offer, unfortunately. So what do you say? Fine. And we're gonna give the player two options here. Hold on, actually, let's change the wording here. Look, I'm not gonna stab you. I'm not gonna rob you or anything. I'm gonna do that because I want the dialogue to not blend too well like that. Or anything. Word. Okay. My cousin didn't believe I talked to a strange bald man over the internet about Bugman named Beep for fun. He thinks I'm crazy. I don't know what would give him that impression. Well, when you say it like that, um, you know, when you say it like that, you know. All right, now copy line ID, and can I paste the line ID? What would you name some of Tin Fist's attacks? I just like to imagine him naming his moves mid-fight, like Fist of Justice, Freedom Knee, the Great Leviathan Kick. Yeah, I mean, he's over there making anime noises and screaming out the names of his attacks. You know damn well that he's over there screaming Hadouken. Hadouken! We have debates over beeping beep. He thinks it's not peak entertainment. Listen, it is top tier. Top tier, my friend. Toppest of tier. Copy line ID. All right, how do I maybe fix this? Paste new. That ain't right. There's got to be a way to do this where I have them like branch into each other. No. The notes, interjection, maybe not. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. No, there's got to be a way to do it. I've seen them do it. I've seen them do it. I've seen it. Someone give me a better way to waste my life. I dare you. That's what I'm. Listen, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Crack is a good way to do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. You could, but don't. You could, but don't. Nope, nope. Copy paste is not an answer here. It's all laughs and giggles seeing a robot name his attacks until it explodes someone's head with the back of his head. Yeah, until he does a round, he backhands you and your fucking eyes pop out. Freedom slap! Ha ha! It's so funny. Oh fuck! Jim's jaw's gone. What is it? It's like the scene from Pulp Fiction when uh, what is it? Travolta shoots the dude in the back of the car, and he's like, "Oh fuck! I shot Marvin in the face." Yeah, it's like that. It's exactly like that. Oh fuck, man! I shot Marvin in the face. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. All right. Well, then we're just gonna take this whole line of dialogue and we're just gonna copy it in there. And same with this. Add line. Target. Oop, that's to me. That's to me. What race is follower going to be? It is going to be a skeleton. It is going to be a skeleton. Rise. We'll add one more line, and then that's that. And then we're going to add another line from here where he accepts. Okay, look, I'm not going to rob you or anything, so what do you say? I got to remember what the thing is for what the command is for the player name thing. Gotta look that up. Who has a dialogue package where you say the player's name? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Who has a dialogue package that says the player's name? Anybody know? I gotta remember what the command is for it. Check warriors. Check warrior. Talk to outsider. Rowdy. No time for this. Nope. Player. Admiration. Flat skin. That ain't right. Look for somebody who has that type of dialogue. Interesting. So for them it's the flat skin, but I don't want them to call them flat skin. You could waste your life being an activist for disbanding pasteurization of cheese. That's true, you could. You could, in fact. I know the Sheks say your name after you become the Battleborn. That's true. That's true. That is true. And now what we got to do is figure out where what all that is. Here's what we're gonna do. No, actually, no. I gotta figure this out. How to figure out what the player's name is. I'm gonna Google it. When all else fails, Google it. Kenshi, how to make NPC say her name. The world token is slash your name slash inside there. So to insert the targeted player character's name or my name to show the speaker's name. Interesting. We're going to try your name and see if that works. We're going to try that one first. We're going to test this dialogue out here in a second anyway. So / your name. No, it's my name. They're speaking. So it would be my name. / my name. Welcome aboard. All right, we're gonna test this. Call them helmetless. It's like maidenless, but for Shek soldiers. It's interchangeable. Hive soldiers don't get maidens anyway. They don't deserve it. Oh my god. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Sure, you can come. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The name's Gearlock. By the way. Actually, you can call me Gearlock. Forward to review. And then here we're going to set the condition where he joins the school. That's going to be join fast, join squad fast. Add. Boom, that's the end. And then I think if you tell him to piss off, we're just gonna have you. Okay. Thanks anyway for hearing me out. That's the end. And then I don't think this can only occur once. So it can only happen one time. Okay, so we're gonna save it and we're gonna load up the game and see if that worked. This is gonna be something that's not up on the workshop for a while. Little while anyway, at least probably a couple weeks. I'm gonna work on this in between, other projects and when I'm doing other things. But once it's up, I'll let everybody know. Once it's up, I'll let everyone know. All right. And he should leave the player alone after that. He shouldn't be following him around. So that's something else that we'll have to take into account, but we'll find out. That may require some additional work on the back end. Some additional works on the back end. I think after we run this test, I'll probably wrap it up for the evening. It's about 11 o'clock. Like I said, it's going to be a lighter stream tonight and tomorrow because I have to get some sleep. I've got a ton of shit we got to do. We got 2 birthday parties and some some traveling and stuff for outside of the birthday parties. But for my kid's birthday, we're taking them out to do stuff. Like we're taking the kids out tomorrow to do a bunch of stuff. So gotta get some sleep. They're gonna have my ass up early in the morning to go get food and drive around and do stuff, which is gonna be fun. But also, these next couple of days, I'm just gonna be fried. All right, where you at, buddy? Where you at? You didn't spawn in your usual hovel. You didn't spawn in your usual hovel. Where you at? Around here somewhere. Is that him over there? There he is. There's the man. All right, so he should approach us. Wanderer, there we go. Working so far. Gearlock, Holy Nation Outlaws. I wish to have a word with you. All right, we'll make sure this works. This should not be repeating a ton now. If it is, we're going to have to fix that. ... I have an offer that you might be interested in. And then you should just say a moment of your time, and then that should be that. He shouldn't repeat it about. Oh, no, he's good. He's good. All right. I appreciate you stopping. Yeah, no problem. What's the offer you mentioned? You see, I'm an adventurer, or I was anyway. Well, sort of. The old me was. It's complicated. Anyway, I've been stuck in the hub since just after the Shek abandoned the city. I've been wanting to leave, but unfortunately, as I am now, I can't do it alone. Bandits will likely have me as a pile of scrap in the dirt before I even make it out of the border zone, and even if I do, I won't make it long in Okernet territory. Interesting. Does he follow you around like Beep? Only initially. He doesn't follow you around. He approaches you the one time. I didn't want him to be, because when Beep does it, it's adorable. If a big skeleton does it to you, it's going to be annoying. So I wanted them to just approach you and be like, "Hey, I have an offer for you," and then he kind of just goes from there. Like he waits for a minute and then he goes from there. Bandits will likely have me as a pile of scrap in the dirt before I even make it out of the border zone. Even if I do, I won't make it long enough territory. Right, I'm still getting used to the clarity of mind. The first few months tend to cause you to talk a lot more than usual. I love your lore videos and clips. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. But I used Beep's dialogue as the basis for the dialogue package for it. You look like someone who's about to do some venturing themselves. I need to fix that spelling mistake. What I'm offering is an extra sword for your travels and some conversation on the road. In exchange, I get to see the world again, and you get to a warrior. You get warrior. Okay, I need to change that too. A couple spelling mistakes. You get a warrior who has walked these lands for thousands of years. Granted, I'm not as skilled as I used to be, but I am sure I can be of use to you. Okay, so first thing to do, we're going to tell him to fuck off. Yeah, fuck off. I'm not interested in getting stabbed in the back by some random skeleton. Well, can't say I'm surprised. Your kind has become more distrustful in recent centuries. Well, thanks for hearing me out. And that's it. That's it. If you talk to him, if you tell him to fuck off, that's it. He's gone. He's listed as an ally, which is cool, but he is not recruitable at that point, which I like. He's not going to sit there and take you telling him to piss off and then be like, oh, actually, did you change your mind? I know you were just super fucking rude to me a minute ago, but did you change your mind? So that's good. That's good. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Now we're going to load in again, and we're going to see if everything else works the way that it should. That him right there. Fantastic. There we go. I want to have a word with you. ... And then after he says this line, he walks away. I may add another line of ... to that, and then have him be like, well, I guess not. Why install the mod if you don't want to take the follower? I don't know. I think that's part of it though. Like I want the dialogue to be realistic and organic. Who knows? Maybe it's one of those situations where you install the mod because you use it on some playthroughs, but on other playthroughs you don't. Maybe it's one of those things where like maybe you're playing a Holy Nation character, and you don't want to recruit a skeleton that run. But I don't want him approaching you and you talking to him to force you into recruiting him. I want you to have the option to say no. That way, in a playthrough where you're not planning on using him, you can still you can avoid recruiting him. I could use some extra help. How can I be sure I can trust you? I mean, in fairness, you don't, but that's part of the experience, isn't it? ... Sorry, was that a bad joke? ... I don't know if I'm funny this time yet. That's good. Is there a way to maybe make amends just in case you misclick? Maybe I'll make it so that way the dialogue is only approachable. Yeah, you could just reload. You could just reload. The thing is you shouldn't misclick because the option to tell him to piss off is option number 2, and everything else prior to that is option 1. So your cursor should already be on option 1. But I will see if I can figure something out in the event that you want to you want to go back to him again. Maybe maybe if you give him a repair kit, like if you have a repair kit, you can talk to him and that'll be fine. Maybe set like a line of dialogue where like you have to have this item in your inventory or something. I don't know if I'm funny yet this time. Look, I'm not going to rob you or anything. You have my word, but that is all I can offer you, unfortunately. So what do you say? Now this one, I need to flip this because the fuck off is on top. So I need to flip that. Sure, you can come with me. I'm Bambas. Good, it is saying the name. Love it. I'm Bambas. Welcome aboard. Thank you. You can call me Gearlock. I look forward to working with you. Fantastic. So they are recruitable, and the initial lines of dialogue are there. Gearlock is in the squad. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see it. What if I sneeze when it comes time to click 1 instead of 2, but you click 2 and go, God damn you, allergies. I do that sometimes, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But it works. It works. He's there. The dialogue is there. We love to see it. I do need to flip the order of these to be not there. Oop. Uh, I need this to be line number. Oh no, this should be line number 1. Why is this line number 1? Oh no. Oh no. You should make a few skeletons like this in you should make a few skeletons like this in different models that know each other and like they were a group that were split up and have different stories for the same thing. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Different points of views and all that stuff. Yeah. And like I said, I want to include unique dialogue where like if you talk to maybe when Hero is feeling more ambitious, he can do just that. I may end up doing it. That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. I want to add unique lines of dialogue for characters like Io. You know, I did experimented with that in the Star Wars series with Beep and Palpatine. Um, so I want to add unique lines of dialogue where like, uh, what is it? He will basically if you have him in the party, he'll lambaste you when you try to talk to Io. Like if he's in the party, this is the dialogue you get, and he's gonna basically be like, this guy's he's a fucking traitor. He's like a wanted for treason, right? But he's not gonna specify what it is, and it's that Io knows that he's out telling people the truth, and he wants to shut him up. He wants to shut him up. So like if you try to like talk to Io or the machinist with him in your party, it results in the machinist turning hostile. Which I think would be really cool, really unique. Like they hate each other but come together and argue over issues that split them up, and none of them are thinking they're in the wrong. Indeed, that could be interesting. Yeah, we could make multiple skeletons that all have like unique dialogue that interact with each other and stuff. They could like talk to each other and like reminisce on the road. That'd be fun. I think I'll probably try to get Gearlock stuff out of the way first, and go from there. It's like the scene in the movie Crash where he goes, "Lower your weapons. I know this machine. Hey, insert name here. It's me, Gearlock. Tell me how you came to be here." Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, well, I think that we are off to a good start here. We're off to a good start here. I like it. I like it. We're off to a good start. Things are going good. But I am going to wrap it up for the evening. As I said, I have a lot of shit I got to do over the next couple of days. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow. I'll be playing more Elden Ring with Muffin Top tomorrow. And then I won't be streaming again until Monday. I have to take Sunday off because it's the day of my it's the day of my kid's birthday party, so we have a lot of stuff going on with that. And yeah, I don't think they're gonna end up staying up late, so I'm not gonna be streaming that day. So, oh man, yeah, they turned 5 this week. They turned 5 this week. Oy vey. I feel it's wild. It's wild that they're already 5. Crazy stuff, man. Kids, plural. I have 2. I have twins, and they are 5. Wild stuff. I have a son and a daughter, one of each. Ooh. Crazy, man. Crazy. 5 years already. It's nuts. Anyway, yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow, guys. We'll be playing Elden Ring with Muffin Top. I sincerely appreciate you guys stopping in. Do you guys want to see me do more? Sit down and like modding streams like this where we're making a mod together and just chatting and talking about lore and all that stuff? Is that something you guys want to see more of? I could set aside like maybe one day a week or one day every other week to do this. Um, what's the thoughts? What's the vibe? How do you guys feel about it? You guys like it? All right, cool. So maybe I'll set aside like one day every other week or like every week or something, and we'll just sit down and do like a Kenshi mod and hang out. We sit down, we work on the mod, we work on the dialogue. I'll work on it in between, but like we'll work on stuff on the mod so you guys can see it develop in real time. Until eventually we can put it out in the world. It'd be cool. Cool. Maybe field some ideas from chat too, make our ideas a reality type deal. Logic, you just want me to have him be racist against hivers, against hive soldiers. You know damn well that's what you want. You said maybe field ideas from chat, like potentially having him be racist against hivers. You know. Oh man. So all right, cool. I'll schedule some time out. We'll do another one of these soon. It'll be a good time. Good time. A guy can dream, right? Maybe when I make some of the other skeletons in the mod, maybe I'll make one of them racist against hivers. Maybe I'll make a skeleton that's just super against hivers. He knows how they were made, and so he's just like, no, man, this is not good. This is not good. No. These things are abominations. Abominations. Okay, well, with all that being said, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in. As always, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Elden Ring. And as always, use your powers for good instead of evil. Make a difference in somebody's life. And yeah, this has been fun. This has been fun. Gearlock will soon be in your games, and he'll be able to deliver lore when I am not there to do it for you.